Welcome to It's Okay Not to Be Okay. I started this episode out with that round of applause as a thank you for you guys and gals and, all of the listeners and supporters of this podcast. I wish I knew who you guys were. I don't know where you guys are, but the future is bright, and I am sure that I'll have all of that information about you guys who I could honestly call my extended family and friends for sure, because this response is a lot more overwhelming than I would have thought it would be. I don't know who's listening to this. So whoever's listening to this, if you are like a family member, a friend, a stranger or whoever, just thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, I was unsure on how serious I was going to initially take this. You feel me? Because I play a character on another podcast. I love plugging that podcast. So I'm going to always plug it. Petty on the Rocks. You can search it. If you can't find it, type in POTR on whatever you listening to this on, and it's going to pop up. I play a character on that podcast. I love that podcast. You feel me? I'm invested in that podcast. You feel me? But I always wanted to do this podcast because I feel like this can serve in a whole entire different space than that one. That one I could get a little raunchy, a little ratchet, a little, over there. But over here, I want to always be a little more concise and direct with the message. I want you guys to leave with a gem. Now, the reason I open up talking about the other podcast that I'm on is because it ties right into what this episode is about. The last episode I recorded over there, on the A side, because we have a B side and an A side. And believe it or not, ironically, on the B side of the Petty on the Rocks podcast, I just, I kind of give up the same tips on manifestation that I did on this podcast. Like because we all could use a little help in the power of aligning ourselves into placing ourselves into the best place that ourselves could be at. You feel me? But on the A side, I said something that I wanted to, expound on. I said, comparison is the thief of joy. Hear me out. Comparison is the thief of joy. In a nicer way, I just want to say the harsh part of this is, and it's simple. It's simple, but it might come off harsh. But mind your business. Mind your business. Don't pay attention to what whoever got going on wherever. Especially if it don't benefit you. Know what I'm saying? Mind your business. Comparison is the thief of joy. You might have a crazy ass day. You might find $200 and be like, damn, I found $200. Ha ha ha. Yay, me. Good me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You on the phone with somebody and they won $2,000. You should not feel any less happy about your $200 blessing. Don't compare your 2,000. I apologize. I mixed that up. Don't compare their 2,000 to your 200. Look, every time somebody try to hit me with something weird where I don't want to go outside of my comfort zone, and I know we're taught that we have to go outside of our comfort zone in some areas, and that is very true. But whenever someone tries to challenge me against my strong suit, you know what I tell them? I can't judge a fish's ability to fly or a bird's ability to swim. Because if I did that, the fish will always fail and the bird will always fail. We don't know how well a bird could swim. And we don't know how well a fish could fly. But we are under the assumption that a fish ain't going to get far in the atmosphere. A bird ain't going to get far underwater. But place them the proper element, letting the fish mind its business of the water and the bird mind its business of the sky. The limits and the bounds are endless for each animal. I never want to challenge anyone else's level of genius. I never really want to challenge anyone else's level of income. Because the battle should never be me versus anyone. It should be me versus me. Am I better than the person I was yesterday? Am I going to challenge the person I am today to be a better person tomorrow than the person I am right now? If we're going to compare anything, we should compare self to self. We do not want, look, everybody has their own strong suit. All of us are special in our own special way. If you died, I promise if you died, the world would not be the same without you, no matter what level of the totem pole you think yourself is on. You are not a waste of time. You are not a waste of space. You are not a waste of energy. But do not compare yourself to anyone else. Strive to be a better you. That's all we got. That's all we got in this world, is to strive to be a better us than we was before. Don't let the same things that trigger you into certain things trigger you the same way. Avoid the BS that may happen for, the sake of your own sanity. Just stay away from certain things. The more you mind your business and you focus on yourself and the elevation of yourself, then you don't have to ever live in the world of comparison. Ever. It's great to, if you're in a field, want to be the greatest in that field. Nobody's ever going to knock LeBron for wanting to be better than Jordan. Nobody's going to ever knock certain artists for wanting to be better than certain artists. You're going to want to be better. You're going to want to see your competition and say, oh, that's my competition. But let me tell y'all this, and I hope everybody listening to this listens to hip hop. 3 reasons why we could never compare. Well, no, there's a similar reason why we could never compare Drake to Kendrick Lamar to J. Cole, or J. Cole to Drake, or J. Cole to Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Like, these 3 people cannot be compared to each other for a certain reason. Drake targets an emotional audience, a romanticized emotional audience. Kendrick Lamar targets the underdog that has a hint of activism. J. Cole targets the people who want to value self-love. That's why we can't compare those 3 to each other. That's why when people try to, because let's just be real, in hip hop hierarchy, in that stratosphere of artists, you got Kendrick Lamar, you have Drake, and you have J. Cole. This is before you get to the Jay-Z's, the Nas, the Lil Wayne. You feel me? You got that tier right there. What has separated them from the rest of the artists, no offense to Wale, because Wale's awesome, super dope. Currency's one of my favorite artists, if not my favorite. Like, I'm not knocking anybody else, but what separated those 3 is that they know their niche, and it keeps them so they aren't in comparison with anyone else. Matter of fact, if you guys go on a Twitterverse and look up Keke Palmer, they tried to compare her to Zendaya or Zendaya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. I'm not gonna lie, but Keke Palmer nicely said, "I shouldn't be compared to anyone except for myself." I don't know if she said incomparable. I'm not gonna lie. You know? But in conclusion, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't focus on what nobody else got. Focus on what you got. And work on what you got. And improve on what you got. Because you got it. And you got this. And your gift will be loved throughout the world. This has been another episode of It's Okay Not to Be Okay. Okay.